Hi, I'm Donna Lynne. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making a really simple French bread recipe. And I hope if you enjoy this video that you like and subscribe. So I'm starting off with 3½ tablespoons of warm water. You want the temperature to be between 110 and 115 degrees. And I'm adding 1½ teaspoons of active dry yeast. I'm going to stir that in and then let it sit for about 5 minutes until it gets foamy. While I'm waiting for that, I've got 2 teaspoons of coarse kosher salt that I've mixed into 16 ounces of bread flour. And that's about 3½ cups of bread flour. I like to weigh my flour when I'm baking bread rather than measuring it out. But if you don't have a scale, then measure about 3½ cups of bread flour. So I stirred the salt in. I'm going to let the yeast sit for about 5 minutes before I add it to the flour. The yeast is ready, so I'm going to put a little well in my flour and pour the water in, and pour the water into the bowl with the yeast, and then stir it. I'm just using a regular fork to stir this. Now that the yeast is stirred in, I've got about 10 ounces of cool water, and I'm going to add it a little bit at a time, and I might not even use the whole 10 ounces, but just add a little bit at a time and stir it in. The dough will become like stringy or shaggy, I've heard the term used. You want to make sure all the flour gets mixed together. Now that this is mixed together, I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap and let it sit for about 30 minutes. The dough has been sitting for about 30 minutes covered with plastic wrap. Now I'm going to lightly flour my work surface. This works great for sprinkling flour out, little shaker. Sprinkle a little flour on that, a little wet spot. So I'm just going to work it, not a lot. Spread it out, fold it over onto itself. And then I'm going to put oil in the bowl. Put the dough back in, cover it back up. I preheated my oven to 200 degrees, so there's a little bit of heat coming off. And I'm going to put this on top of the range for about 2 hours until it doubles in size, and then we'll make the loaves of bread. The dough is risen, it's doubled in size for about 2 hours. So now I'm going to divide it in half. I'm going to roll it into about a 15-inch long loaf of bread. I'm going to put it on a towel that I have lightly floured. I'm gonna cover these with plastic wrap that I've sprayed some no-stick spray onto and let them rise for another 30 to 45 minutes until they're doubled in size again. I've let the loaves of bread raise for another 45 minutes. And I'm now preheating my oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have a large pan of water on the bottom rack, which is going to stay in there the entire time the bread is baking. I've got some cornmeal I'm going to sprinkle on the baking sheet, which I've also got parchment paper on. You don't need a whole lot. Now I'm going to transfer the loaves of bread to the baking sheet. And then I've melted about 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to brush the tops with that. And now I'm going to take a little knife and just put about 4 or 5 slits in each loaf of bread. I'm going to bake this at 450 for 30 minutes. I bake these in a 450 degree oven with a pan of water for 30 minutes. And you can tell when they're done, it sounds hollow when you knock on it. So, but that's a real nice loaf of bread. It's still a little warm. Better than a bakery. This is really, really good. I'll use this to make sandwiches or serve it with pasta. I hope you try this recipe at home, and if you do, let me know how it turns out by leaving your comments below. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.